We'll call the meeting of the June 3rd Board of Supervisors of Goochland County to order. First off, we will have the invocation by Reverend Joe Brown, and there we go, sir. Y'all stand.
Thank you. Let's pray. Gracious God, we come before you this afternoon with reverence, acknowledging all authority in heaven and on earth belongs to you. You are so sovereign over all things. Lord Jesus, we pray right now for the meeting of the Goochland County Board of Supervisors. We pray and we give thanks that they are here in public service. May the work done here today in reports reviewed, budgets amended, roads planned, voices heard, be marked by wisdom, humility, and a shared desire for the flourishing of this county. We pray especially for those making decisions about appointments, infrastructure, education, stewardship of resources. May each resolution and report be considered with clarity and care. May the supervisors serve not only with efficiency, but also with compassion for those whose lives are shaped by these decisions. We lift up our neighbors who share today. May every voice be heard with respect. May this room reflect a spirit of civility. Bless each supervisor, the county administrator, every staff member who works to support behind the scenes. We offer this prayer in the strong and good name of Jesus Christ, our King. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Reverend Brown. Yeah. God bless you and the Goochland Presbyterian Church.
Amen.
We now have a pledge of allegiance.
Please remain standing. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I have a few comments. First off, it was delightful to attend the high school graduation of the class of 2025 last Sunday night. What a great experience that was. We had 197 graduates, and I wanted to say to the guys and gals, you guys, there are a lot of nice-looking girls in that class, and you girls are a lot of nice-looking guys. What a good-looking class it was, and we were so proud of them. A lot of them had outstanding awards, and I understand a certain percentage of them graduated with a 2-year certificate already, ready to go into higher education. Good percentage of them participated in their CTE program. It's just a great, prideful evening for me and Mr. Lyle. So congratulations to them again. We are going to have a meet and greet for Dr. Raley, our new county administrator. It's going to be on Thursday, June 12th, and it'll be here in room 250, and everyone is invited. And we want to have as many people as we can to attend and give him a grand welcome and get him going with a lot of enthusiasm and their support. I want to also take this opportunity and as many opportunities as I possibly can to thank our interim county administrator, Manny Alvarez. Manny has done an outstanding job. I don't know what we would have done without him. It allowed us to methodically take our time and deliberately choose a county administrator. As I've mentioned before, we had over 32 or 34 applicants, and we went through a very, very deliberate process to narrow that down. During that time, Mr. Alvarez helped keep the ship headed in the right direction and afloat, and we appreciate that, Manny. Thank you for everything. And I hope you're not going to go too far away from us when your stint is over. And I also hope we don't need your services as a county interim administrator anytime soon. So anyway, thank you. That's my remarks.
I have some comments as well. So I don't know if you guys saw the banners hanging on the light post out here for our veterans. If we've had a lot of interest since people saw them. We had advertised them, but maybe the word didn't get out well enough. But we've had a lot of interest, so we've extended the date to apply to have yourself or a family member who's a veteran be on one of those banners. So we extended the sign-up date to June 15th. You can go on our website and link to it that way. The Parks and Recreation Night at Tucker concert series, June 27th is the next one. And the group will be named after me in a couple of months or so. Permanent Vacation is the name of the group. So bring your friends. The events are really great, and you can enjoy a night of music by the river. The document shredding and household hazardous waste collection will be held this Saturday, June 7th, at the fairground lot. For those of you who have not been here very long, the fairground lot is the lot at Sandy Hook Road and Fairground Road. There used to be a fairgrounds there many years ago. The farmers market, don't forget after the meeting today, head across the road to the farmers market. They'll be waiting for you there. I don't know if you got to see the new concession stand trailer in the parking lot. I think this was a very creative idea from our Parks and Recs folks. We needed to replace our concession stand in the field. There's actually a family of gophers that lives under it. And it was going to cost us more to replace it than to buy a trailer, and now we can have it. It can be the same concession stand at any of our parks. So I think that's a great idea, and it's beautiful. I wanted to say something about Goochland Day also. Congratulate the Goochland Day Foundation for the great job they did. They had over 7,500 people attend this year's event, and it was really well attended and very well done. I would like to add, though, because there are a lot of people in the community who don't think the county helps Goochland Day very much, but we do. Our Parks and Recs folks put a lot of time into it. We waive over $4,000 in fees for permits associated with the event. That doesn't include fire and rescue. Fire and rescue provides services without charge. The EDA also provided $5,000 to them. We had one part-time and 6 full-time people staffing the concert. We had 2 full-time staff for Saturday's parade, 2 full-time staff for the festival on Saturday. We also advertise the event. We provide dumpsters. We provide all the tables and chairs. So just so people know, because we do get some bad rap about not running the event, I'd also like to clarify that the event has never been run by Parks and Recreation. The event was started many moons ago by Company One Fire Station. They were trying to raise money to build a fire station. So it hasn't changed. And I don't know that we could do what the community does every year in getting volunteers and getting people really energized. So thank you to them, and hope next year's is even better. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Alvarez. We do have one request to postpone an agenda item. It's requested by VDOT to item 4 on our agenda, number 6369, acceptance of subdivision streets, Mosaic Section 7. They asked for us to pull it from the agenda until further notice.
So moved.
And if we would like to have a motion and a second on that.
So moved.
You have a
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion on that? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Yay.
Any opposed? All right. Now we'll move on to the approval of the action minutes for April
Citizen
2nd.
comment.
Second.
Citizen comment.
Oh, yeah, let me, let's open it up for the citizen comment period. This is the opportunity for residents to speak to the board about any issue involving the county that is not on the meeting agenda as an agenda item for the public hearing. If you have comments about an issue scheduled for public hearing, you need to speak when that matter is called. Each person may speak once for up to 3 minutes. Please come to the podium and provide your name and address before providing your comments. If you wish to speak longer than 3 minutes, you may extend your time by having other residents come up, give their name, and cede their time to you. Your time is increased by 2 minutes for each individual who does so, up to a 10-minute maximum. The board is offering a citizen comment period, but is not intended to last more than an hour. With regards to the lights, the light timer green will start the 3-minute period. The first yellow light will indicate that 1 minute is left to speak. The second yellow light continuously blinks when 30 seconds left to speak, and the red light, speaker's time is up. And now open the meeting. Why did she want me to skip ahead of that?
My name is Chuck Bent, 72 Harvey Road, Johnsontown, Goochland, Virginia, Rockville, and I am a Rockville resident, and I'd like to donate my time to Miss Moore. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Davette Bent, and I also live at 72 Harvey Road, Rockville, Virginia, 23146 in our great Goochland County. And I also would like to donate my time to Linda Moore. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Linda Moore. I live at 2164 Prophet Road, Mannequin Sabbath in District 4. I have sent you a breakdown because I didn't know how many wonderful neighbors would donate their time to me. So you have the copies in case I mess up. But what I am here today for is that we have been trying to meet with the county about concerns about the staff reports that are coming out. We don't understand why the difference has occurred and I know you can't go back to the past, but we were able to get information much easier from the county. I don't think we overloaded the county staff because we always put it in writing, what we wanted, what we needed. This lack of transparency for us to get this information has caused for a lot of stress on neighbors. I walk in my neighborhood every morning, and for the last week and a half, I've had 3 or 4 of my neighbors come out to say, Linda, what's going on Mannequin Road? What's going on, with the sign that's also on Mannequin Road? I will not give false information to anybody, okay? I take it very serious. I come home, I try to research it, I try to go online to find it out. I am having a terrible time, okay? Information is not on Intergov for me to see. It's just not working. I send my notice to whoever I think will answer my questions, and sometimes I know you all are busy people, but sometimes it's a week before I get an answer. People are getting frustrated about this. Our group met with Manny And on the 12th. I've got this all written down so that I don't. We went over 3 what we considered reasonable ways of dealing with the inaccurate staff reports. Thought we were on the same page until a few days before the Planning Commission meeting. And then we get the pack and we find a ton of things that doesn't seem to be in its right place. It doesn't speak to the issues. We sent that comment to the Planning Commission, and thank God the Planning Commission voted it down 5-0. But that took a lot of time and energy to figure out where anything was so that my neighbors could come and speak to you. I understand they've done a terrific job of sending in like 87 letters to you all about Highfield, and more will be coming because the date is now July the 1st. I'm hoping between now and then we can get some more information into the staff report so that I don't have to stand up again with you all and with my laundry list of things that are not included. I have 2 people who are going to follow me to take issue 2 and 3 because it was too much to get in the amount of time that I was allotted. I thank you all for listening to me. I thank you all for responding that you got my emails. I appreciate it. Now
Thank you, Ms. Moore.
Okay. All right. I brought my A team.
Hello, I'm Patricia Alvis. I live at 2810 Hanover Road, Rockville, Virginia. And I am very concerned about the Rockville and Mannequin Road. All the traffic, they're not planning on widening that road at all. And it's very dangerous just to look at it because you see crosses when you travel around, and that's a reminder. And having a big subdivision, I think is out of the question because that's just more traffic. And we need to think about the fire department, the ambulances, and we need to have more of those with the people in the community. And there is already too much traffic on Mannequin Road with Luckstone, Litchfield, and Amazon big trucks, which will be coming and going 24 hours a day. And there's more land in Rockville and Mannequin that will be sold for business or for homes. And I think this is just too much for the roads to handle. They need to be widened. And to build an overpass on 64, I think they need that and widen that Mannequin Road. And do you think a roundabout will handle all that traffic coming on 250? And Richmond and Hackett Road with all that traffic coming out, and it's only going to grow more with all the traffic coming out for the roundabout on Hackett Road, 250. And as for that, I think 250 need to be widening too, coming up in the future. And I believe we need to do something with this. And the county will need more fire departments and schools. And I heard that District 4 and 5 are not planning on building any more schools here in those districts. I don't know if that's true or not. But I think y'all need to think about this before we make a decision. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Abbott.
Mhm.
I'm Spencer Smith. I live in 15692 Mosaic Creek Boulevard in Mannequin, Sabbath. I'd first like to say thank you to Patricia for speaking. Patricia is a Knuckles, and the Knuckles family was foundational to this county. And in 1771, her family founded the Goochland Baptist Church, which is the oldest continuously operating church in this county. It was nice to hear from her. About 400 years ago, a community of pilgrims migrated from Boston to Hartford, Connecticut. They had come to Boston in search of religious freedom. And the reason they went to Hartford is that they were approached by the Pequot Indians of the Hartford area and said, "You've got guns, and we have somebody who's attacking us," which was the Iroquois. And they said, "If you will come and chase the Iroquois away, we will give you land." And that land was basically Hartford and Wethersfield and Windsor in the heart of Connecticut. So they did that deal, they chased the Iroquois, they became farming, and they realized that they had to have a government. Because where they were 120 miles away from Boston, they were out of sight and sound of the British. No longer were they ruled by the king and his governors and his generals. They had to provide some way of governing themselves. And so they gifted this country with what's called the Fundamental Orders, which became the Connecticut Constitution, which became the United States Constitution, which basically is the foundation of this and every other community in the country. That government works for the people. It's not to be ruled by elites. It's the people. Now, if you go back just a few years, we had COVID. And during COVID, we were told you can't go to church. You can't go to work. You can't have big Thanksgiving get-togethers in your house. If you're a spouse, you can't go to the nursing home and provide help for your spouse. Now, that advice was all because this county and the state of Virginia accepted the opinion of elites from the CDC instead of listening to the people. Now, we know every single one of those demands was wrong. We didn't have to wear masks. We didn't have to stand 8 feet apart from people. We could go take care of our spouse. We could go to church. We could go to school. Look at the damage that's been done to our children by having 2 years off. I mean, this place is not known for higher education. We have a lot of bright people coming in here, and they're all going to private schools like Benedictine, who did not close during COVID, and were proven to be right. Now, historically, we know everything that this county and Virginia did was wrong. There was no reason
Thank
for
you,
any
Mr.
of that.
Thank you. Your time is up.
So what I'm saying
sorry.
is, remember the gift that the Pilgrims gave you in 400 years ago, a government for, by, and of the people. That's who you're representing. You're not representing some elite person or group that offers money or power or some other thing that you don't really need. It's we the people that count. And you have an obligation to carry forward the trust of those settlers who
Thank you, sir.
gave us such a great gift.
Thank you very much.
Andrew Wingert, 2278 Osborne Ridge Road, Rockville, Virginia. I am in the Tuckahoe Bridge Section 2 development, which is Main Street and Winstrep. If I could hand out pictures just real quick with what I was talking about here. So the issue I'm bringing to the county right now is we are an HOA. The HOA is still developer controlled. We have no elected representatives on the board. We deal with a HOA, essentially secretary, and I don't know who my board is. The board was appointed by the developer, Windswept. A lot of the issues that seem to be brought to the management company kind of meander their way, follow up 3 or 4 times, nothing happens. At this point, I'm here with the county to try to have the county exert its power in following the plans and specifications of what was laid out in the development. the picture I distributed there was the easiest and probably most clear. This bridge was built in the community less than roughly about 1 year ago. Didn't backfill properly, didn't compact the soil. It has settled over 1.5 inches. The full board was showing at the end of the winter. It is a trip hazard. 2 or 3 emails to the HOA, we'll get to it. Finally, I think the HOA finally did get it. I've been in communication with, honestly, he's been great, Mr. Ray Cash with the county. He is very responsive. He's operating, I think, as much as he can operate with what the county has and he can do and stuff like that. But I'd like to ask the board to make sure they're holding these developers accountable for stuff like this. This is something that you would expect in a development 10, 15 years down the line. I feel like Winstrap Main Street have sold the majority of homes. They're kind of on to the next thing. And we really have no other recourse other than to go to the HOA, which is controlled by the developer at this point. So I'm asking the county to do their due diligence before they let the developer walk away. And like simple things like this is the easiest example, but grass not growing in areas, ponding in areas. That's really all I had. I just want it to be as right as it can be before we leave. The patch that was put there, I can move the material with my foot. Like it's not what it should be. 10 years from now, good, we can fix it this way. But brand new, let's make it brand new. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Winger. Anyone else during the citizen comment period?
Sandra Warwick, Mannequin Sabbath. I just want to take a minute to thank Mr. Wynn on his retirement for the many wonderful things he has done over the years. And several times I've asked him to fix things and it's been taken care of quickly, and he remembered to do it every year. And I just want to thank him for his years of service to doing the little stuff to make this a good place to live. Thank you again.
Thank you, Ms. Warwick. Anyone else? Seeing none, I'll close the citizen comment period. Next, I want to address the approval of the action minutes for April 17th, 18th, April 28th, May 1st, May 2nd, and May 6th, the Board of Supervisors meetings. Board, do I have a motion to approve the minutes as I've stated?
Motion to approve the minutes.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those, any discussion? Yes.
Just one, Mr. Winfrey. When I ran for office, I was told it was just one meeting a month.
Oh.
So you're sure that these are actual?
You know, I was given that same information.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chairman,
you.
Mr. Chairman,
Any
if-
further? Yes.
yeah, I've sat in all those meetings, so I knew what I was getting into.
I should have talked to you. No. Go ahead. Anything else? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you all. Next, we have a report from VDOT, Mr. Marshall Wynn.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Mr. Alvarez. Marshall Wynn with VDOT. This past month, we had 134 work orders, completed 100, had 7 after-hour call-outs. Been doing regular maintenance activities, pothole repair, pipe cleaning and replacement, shoulder and ditch repairs, sign repair and replacement. Completed our first cycle of primary mowing. We're working on the secondary first cycle of mowing. About 50% or so completed by, currently. Hopefully within the next couple of weeks, they'll be finished with that. As you know, this is going to be my last meeting. I just wanted to bring you some information. Interviews were held for my job last week, and there was a candidate that has accepted that job. This guy is well-versed in maintenance and all the projects in the Goochland. He's here right now. Philip Frazier is going to be the resident engineer. So I think y'all have worked with him. Y'all will be happy with the job he does. So Other than that, I don't have anything else, not unless Philip wants to get up and talk.
Stay right there for a moment. I want to add to Ms. Warwick's comments and express on behalf of the board and everyone, all Goochland County, our appreciation for many, many years of cooperation, support from you all. I think you have been instrumental in helping maintain a great relationship with VDOT, between Goochland and VDOT, and we appreciate it very much. And I'd like to come down and give you a little parting gift. We also have a letter for him signed by each member of the board, and thank you for everything. And if you don't mind, I'm gonna ask the board to join me over here, and we'll get a picture.
Okay.
And make sure you get a copy. All right?
Sounds good.
Thanks for everything, Marshall.
Thank you.
Manny, come on. Thanks again.
Mr. Chairman, before Mr. Marshall leaves, I need to just confess, I live in a family where we recycle our gift packet. It's got snow on it because it used to be a Christmas basket, but I too just so appreciate all that you have done. I've seen you help with the farm equipment, bridges, and all the things that need to be done. I understand that there's an interest in baseball in your family. So I know Mr. Alvarez watches Leave It to Beaver reruns when he's at home. But I thought that you might now have time to start enjoying Field of Dreams.
I've watched it 100 times.
Love of the Game.
Watched it 100 times.
Bull Durham. Major League.
Oh, my gosh.
The Natural. League of Their Own.
Mm.
And then A History of Baseball by Ken Burns. But I know you're going to miss it, so we also got you the Road Construction Ahead #2. So anytime you want to watch a road being constructed, you just pull that rescue.
You won't keep that for
No,
later?
sir, no. Christmas isn't for another 6 months, but enjoy those movies in your retirement.
All right, I do appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Let's give on another round of applause.
All right.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have the reports in the package, fire and rescue, planning, development activity, accounts payable, broadband report, and agriculture report. Do we have any comments with regards to those there in the packet? Are there any board reports? Any reports that the board members would like to make?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I can report on the Richmond Region Transportation Planning Organization, the RRTPO. That met on last Thursday, the 29th. I'm happy to say that Patrick Longerbeam, who is Goochland's transportation manager, also attended and has already started to acclimate and inculcate himself with the staff and the folks down there. The RRTPO does rotate its chair and vice chair positions, and so at our next organizational meeting, Henrico Supervisor Jody Rogish is going to serve as chair, and John Hodge from Town of Ashland will be the vice chair. We did adopt our Unified Planning Work Program, which everybody knows. This is UPWP. There are 4 things we're going to be looking at. That's our 2025 federal certification, our core plan convergence, which is how do we bring all of the disparate plans throughout the region into one 2050 long-range plan. Prioritization of safety remains a core focus of the RRTPO. And then I always like this one, which is envisioning a multimodal future, which means people can walk, they can bike, they can take public transit, they can use private vehicle, as well as train. There were some funding amendments. The Jank Road lane improvements in the city of Richmond were approved. Funding was approved for budget amendments to the Mayo Bridge improvements. And Ride Finders was also allocated another $2 million in an effort to help encourage more people to abandon single occupancy vehicles and use other transit means. The Fall Line Trail, which is being financed by the RRTPO and I think CVTA to some degree, I'm not sure exactly how the funding works, but that is going to start to be in use from Ashland down to Henrico, and that should happen, if not this month, next month. The RRTPO also adopted an honorarium policy, and that is we have a Community Transportation Advisory Committee. Goochland has a representative, Mr. Bob Basham, and there's been a challenge in getting people to volunteer and attend the meeting. So a $50 honorarium is being offered to help defray expenses. It was $4,800 as a pilot. If we see that participation doesn't increase, the expectation is the honorarium will no longer be offered. And if somebody is on the committee as a part of their assigned duties, in other words, they're a public employee, they would not qualify for that. Adrienne Torres with GRTC confirmed interest in meeting with Goochland and our staff to look at the microtransit. Microtransit has been introduced in both Hanover and Powhatan. This is to address people who don't have vehicles and need to get to, say, the McGuire VA Center or even just to get to the grocery store and doctor appointments. And we also adopted our fiscal year 26 plan, and we will meet monthly except in July, September, and November. The executive meeting meets at 8:30 and the policy board's 9:30. And I think that we'll have two folks attending now because Patrick will be joining me at those. That's the RRTPO report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Lyle. Are there any other reports?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Yes. So from the CVTA perspective, I am very pleased to announce that the CTB, the board that awards the Smart Scale awards, 3 of the 4 projects for Goochland, including Roundabout at Fairgrounds and Maidens. All of those 3 projects have been approved for final funding, so we will be receiving funding for all 3 of our 4 projects. That's the most Goochland has ever received from Smart Scale. So special thanks to staff and the partnership with VDOT to make our applications as robust as possible. Goochland actually had the #1 and #2 projects in the region based on the scale that they use because it's so smart. From a plan, tomorrow, the larger localities have pretty much assured us that there will never be a small locality that is able to assume the role of chair or vice chair in the CVTA. So they will be having elections on Friday. I will be bringing that point up that regional participation is regional participation, and the value that you bring is not dependent on the size of your constituency, although my peers do not seem to see it that way. But I will be fighting the good fight. From a Plan RVA perspective, we have, I chair the Finance Committee, and we did go back and forth on the budget a couple times. We have presented that to Plan RVA, and that is looking to be passed. The other thing we've asked to do, 80% of the work that Plan RVA does is federally funded, and we've asked to ensure that there are contingencies in place should something happen to that funding. And we've been working very hard to ensure that services don't stop, or if they do, we're able to supplement in the ways we need to. The last thing I'll say, Mr. Chair, this is a little bit different, but I wanted to mention that yesterday we had the groundbreaking for the Community Services Board in Powhatan, a new building out of their construction, and it was a very well-attended event. Mr. Lyle, myself, and Mr. Gillespie were able to attend, just along with some other county staff. There was probably a couple hundred people there. It was probably one of the larger groundbreakings I've seen. So that is going to be great for all of our citizens, not just the citizens of Goochland, but because it is a joint board. So just wanted to recognize them for a great event yesterday.
Thank you, Mr. Spoonhour, and thank you for all you do for the transportation in Goochland, and I think you'd make a fine chairman of that group too, by the way. Any other reports? Anybody, any other comments? Now I ask Mr. Alvarez to review the consent agenda items.
Yes, Mr. Chair. So we have, we're down to 3 items since you guys voted to remove one from the agenda. The first 2 items are really related to the school's budget. As you know, when we approve our budget, the schools, or the governor has not completed theirs. So there are some changes that happen after the fact. So the first one is a resolution amending the fiscal year 2025 county budget by appropriating $535,000 in the school operating fund and $11,000 in the cafeteria fund, and authorizing those fund transfers within the county general fund. The second item is a resolution amending the 26 county budget by appropriating $342,000 in the school operating fund and $1,000 in the school textbook fund and $1,700 in the school cafeteria fund. The third item is a resolution requesting the Virginia Department of Transportation accept Blair Estates subdivision streets into the secondary system of state highways for maintenance. If you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them, or
Any questions from the
have
board?
my partner in crime, Carla Cave, in the back, in case you have any finance questions.
Any questions?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, maybe I'll just say, with the schools particularly, we had previously authorized or allocated $300,000 additional. And even though the governor, not the governor, but the Commonwealth is providing an additional $300,000 in sales tax, we're not asking the schools to rescind or return what we previously allocated. So I guess I'm going to toot the board's horn and say we're supporting education. We're not saying, oh, you got $300,000 you weren't expecting, give us the $300,000 you wanted back. We're continuing to step up and commit. And I agree, the ceremony on Sunday with the graduation really does reinforce that the schools are doing a good job. They're doing a great job, and that it does take money, and that I appreciate the opportunity that we were able to support them, even though the state did come up with another $360,000 this year. Every year's new. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Yes, they do a great job. Any further discussion? Any items you want to pull? Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda items as a group or individually?
Mr. Chairman, I move the board approve as amended the consent agenda items 1 through 3 as presented.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Regarding new business, we have a list of appointments in our material before us this afternoon. All of the members that we've listed there have been vetted and underwritten, and they've all requested to be reappointed or appointed. They've agreed to the appointments. Do we have any questions? Is there a motion to approve the appointments?
Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that's it for this session, and we'll now go on our dinner break and reconvene at 6 p.m. for the public hearing meeting. Welcome to the evening session of the June 3rd Board of Supervisors. I'd like to call the meeting back to order. First item on the agenda is citizen comment period. This is the opportunity for residents to speak to the board about any issue involving the county that is not on the meeting agenda for public hearing. If you have comments about an issue scheduled for public hearing, you need to speak when that matter is called. Each person may speak once for up to 3 minutes. Please come to the podium and provide your name and address before providing your comments. If you wish to speak for longer than 3 minutes, you may, by extending your time, having residents come up, give their name, and cede their time to you. Your time is increased by 2 minutes for each person who does so, up to a 10-minute maximum. The board is offering a citizen comment period, but it is not intended to last more than an hour. Now with the rules, the light timer, when the green light comes, your 3 minutes begins, or your time begins. The first yellow light, you have 1 minute left to speak. The second yellow light, which will continuously blink, indicates you have 30 seconds left to speak. And when the red light comes on, your time is up, and we would appreciate if you would wrap it up and stop talking. So now we'll open the meeting for citizen comment.
Linda Moore, 2164 Prophet Road. I'm here to praise you all for what you try to do for the county. I am appreciative of Manny for extending us for meetings. Also to Jamie, I don't want you to think that I am ungrateful for it. I just feel that we need to get a better way of communicating. So I mean no disrespect in my comments that were made earlier. I just feel that right now we need to have as much information as possible about a project that is going to be built in our community. Highfield and other things that are going on, especially in District 4, are making everybody a little bit on the crazy side, and I'll include myself. Thank you very much for everybody who responded that they got my public comment. Have a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Moore. Would anyone else like to come forward and speak during citizen comment period?
Good evening. Michelle Garman, 4003 Rural Virginia Lane. And I just really wanted to thank the board for escalating and working on the issue of the zip codes and identifying where we in Goochland County actually live. So that's all I wanted to say. And Manny, thank you for stepping in as the interim administrator.
Thank you, Ms. Garland.
Thanks, Ms. Garman.
You're quite welcome.
Anyone else? Seeing none, I will close the comment period. Next, we have a public hearing to consider a resolution requesting the Virginia Commonwealth Transportation Board restrict through truck traffic on Hemsby Road, Route 1246. Stradset Road, Route 1247, and Branston Street, Route 1248, Park Village Boulevard, Route 1251, and Yare Street, Route 1253, along with Village Trail 1254 in the Parkside Village. Josh Gillespie, Deputy County Administrator, will be presenting this item.
Thank you, Chair Winfrey, members of the board, Mr. Alvarez. There is a public hearing this evening before you. You've heard the draft resolution that's proposed. The map that's in your packet shows the subject streets that are in the Parkside Village neighborhood. and outlined in yellow are the two routes essentially that are the points of entry from the west on Ashland Road and from the east from Pouncey Tract. The map in your packet did not have Hanover County clearly delineated from Goochland County, but you can see that on the screen. And I'm not going to read all these, but I'll just say that large trucks using those roads have been using it as a cut-through, and citizens have engaged District 4 Supervisor Mr. Botters about installing through trucks prohibited in accordance with state law. Total, those streets shown with the yellow would be about 0.7 100ths of a mile, so less than 1 mile of total streets. The Board of Supervisors holds a hearing under VDOT regulations that's required before these kinds of signs can go up and be enforced. And then there are 4 criteria, which I'll state real quickly. In your packet, you have the staff's opinion and recommendation on each one of those 4 criteria. We found that each of these is met. There is a reasonable alternative route. The reasonable alternate route in this case is the primary routes, the intersection at Ashland Road and Pouncey Tract. That the character and frequency of the truck traffic is not compatible with the affected area. Essentially, this is a residential neighborhood, and for non-residential streets traffic to go on the streets is inappropriate. The roadway is residential in nature, which this one is in the neighborhood. And number 4, that the roadway must be functionally classified as either a local or a collector as opposed to a primary, right, which would be a major route. These roadways together are all local streets. They're not collectors, they're local. And then lastly, just for the record, I'm going to read: a through truck is defined as a truck or truck and trailer or semi-trailer combination, except as a pickup or a panel truck that travels from one point to another and has no origin or destination along the route traveled. So if someone had work being done in the neighborhood and a truck was to come through one point in the neighborhood and exit another point, technically you might look at that as through truck traffic, but it's not, because they're coming to a destination in that neighborhood and exiting once they've done their business. If there are any questions about the information in your packet, I'll be happy to answer any of those. The folks who brought this forward, I know, are here this evening and plan to make some remarks. So that's Margaret and Stephen Levant in District 4 who approached Supervisor Botters about this request. If you have any questions for me, again, happy to answer those.
So,
Yes, sir.
For the definitions of,
Yep.
truck, if it's a pickup truck carrying a lawnmower on a trailer, but it's not destination, would that be classified under this?
It is not.
Okay.
It is not. Yeah, that would be one of these, essentially a pickup or a panel truck.
Yeah, I was just curious, just
Yeah,
in
and it's,
general.
a panel truck, essentially like a box truck or a
Right.
van. If a plumbing business is driving trucks through the neighborhood, they're not through trucks under the state definition.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions?
Can all through traffic be restricted, or is it just a matter of trucks?
That is a great question. No, this section of state code relates to trucks. All through traffic cannot be restricted with signage and enforcement. And one thing that we had mentioned was that we would have supplemental forces from the State Highway Patrol if this becomes an issue, and our deputies would have a difficult time responding. In cases where neighborhoods have through traffic that's personal vehicles, basically, there would be all sorts of other traffic calming measures that might occur with dead-end streets. And that's essentially the hard answer or the hard solution to cut through traffic. This neighborhood was designed to be accessible from both points, and so it would probably not be a good idea to cut off the ability for people to travel through the neighborhood. The streets are not, it's a circuitous route, right? It is not a straight route through this neighborhood. So just to remind you, I mean, it takes a few twists and turns to be able to cut through this neighborhood right now. But no, it cannot include personal vehicles.
So initially would be signage?
Correct. The signage makes it enforceable like a speed limit, so it's
And then
posted.
if that needs to be, there would be enforcement necessary?
Correct. Yep, absolutely. So at first it's it's more than advisory, but at first it's informing people that through truck traffic is restricted, and the second is that we would enforce that restriction. Yep.
Okay, thanks.
Yes, sir.
Any other question from the board? Okay, does anyone like to come forward and speak? Yeah, let me open up the public hearing time. Make it official.
Margaret Levitt, 7036 Ben Hall Circle, and I'm ceding my time to Steve Levitt.
I'm Steve Levitt. I live at 7036 Ben Hall Circle. In April of 2018, Eagle proposed adding a fourth section to Parkside Village, which included an entrance to the subdivision off Ashland Road. The residents opposed this entrance, feeling that it would become a cut-through traffic, wishing to avoid the light at Pouncey Track and Ashland. Joanne Hunter at the time insisted that we have it, citing connectivity and emergency response issues, even though at the time Parkside already had the two requisite entrances. Eagle's traffic engineers designed what they termed a circuitous route from Ashland to Pouncey Track, which they assured us would discourage cut-through traffic. We didn't believe them then, and we were right. Evening rush hour is becoming more and more problematic. When trucks cut through, it's even worse. The economic development which this board and previous boards have set in motion along Ashland Road is creating a significant traffic escalation. This puts Parkside Village in a very unenviable situation. Amazon's RIC6, aka Project Rocky, is full steam ahead. Kimley Horn's TIA for this project indicate that we can expect 8,527 trips per day on Ashland Road, 1,851 of them being tractor trailers, and the balance, 6676, will be employee trips. Combine that with the traffic generated by Crescent Communities' Axial 64 and KRLM's development, if it's approved. As development grows along the Rockville Opportunity Corridor, so too does the traffic. The county, to an extent, is planning for the additional traffic, but only from RIC 6 south to the I-64 interchange. The traffic engineers would have everyone believe that all of the additional project-related traffic will not impact points north of Amazon. Consequently, no near-term traffic improvements are planned north along Ashland Road. Parkside Village is situated north of Amazon and Axial 64, bounded by Ashland Road and Pouncey Track. We're already seeing increased cut-through traffic from construction crews with their equipment. We're very concerned about the current increase in traffic and what is to come. Placing no-through truck signs at the entrances to Parkside will help mitigate some of the traffic in our community. In dealing with VDOT over the years, we've come to learn that the county holds the key. With that in mind, I respectfully ask that you pass this resolution unanimously, as was done with the consent agenda item in May, and that you request VDOT place 3 no-through truck signs at the specified entrances to Parkside Village. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Levitt. Would anyone else like to come forward and speak during citizen comment period? Seeing none, I'll close the comment period. All right, board, do we have any discussion, any questions? Staff? If not, do I have a motion?
Mr. Chair, I move that the board approve this resolution requesting the Virginia Commonwealth Transportation Board restrict through truck traffic on certain streets in the Parkside Village subdivision.
Second.
We have a motion second. Do we have further discussion? All right, Mr. Alvarez, would you?
Nope, no
Did you want
discussion. I do not.
Okay.
I was getting ready to vote.
No, nothing I say is going to make anybody happy here.
Oh. Mr. Alvarez, would you do a roll call?
Mr. Spunauer?
Yes.
Mr. Lyle,
Yay?
Mr. Christie,
Yes.
Mr. Waters,
Yes.
Mr. Winfrey.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, that's the only item we had, so I'll call for an adjournment. The Board of Supervisors will adjourn until Tuesday, July 1st, 2025. The afternoon meeting to be determined and 6 p.m. public hearing. Meeting adjourned.